So I just had two of the most intense days of my professional life. Just absolutely crazy. And if you've been following me at any amount of time, you know I've had some big days, right? I've done some crazy, big, busy launches. I've done great big events. At my events, I'm on stage all day long, just me, sometimes from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. And these 2 days I just had way more intense than all of those days. What I was doing was I was reading the audiobook for my upcoming book. So this is the book I published this in 2014, June of 2014. It sold hundreds of thousands of copies. And I'm coming out with a new edition. And it's coming out in late July with Hay House. It's going to be super cool. I've got 3 new chapters. I've got 2 chapters with a major refresh. And then, just the entire book has been refreshed all the way throughout. So big, big changes. Obviously the world's changed a little bit since 2014, or our world, the online entrepreneurial marketing world has changed a little bit. So in any case, I just was in studio for 2 days, 6 hours a day, recording the audiobook. I've still got 2 more days to go, but it was super intense. So I know probably a lot of you have actually done this yourselves. I didn't read the audiobook last time around. This time I'm doing it. So you're in a little booth, you're in the sound booth, and you've got a mic in front of you, and you've got my iPad there on a stand, and I'm just reading it line by line. And I've got headphones on, and on the other side, talking to me in the headphones, is the audio engineer and the producer. And the audio engineer is listening for every little extraneous sound, my feet squeaking on the stool, or my leg rubbing up against something, but really it was more my stomach rumbling, or my esophagus. Who knew my esophagus made so much noise? I don't know what's going on there. And then the producer, he's just listening to make sure you say every single word right. And when I say every word, I mean every single word and every single sentence. And he'd be in my ears like, okay, Jeff, this sentence here, this is a really important sentence or a really important paragraph. You really want to slow down and have land the impact. And this word here, land on that word. And then what they're doing is they're listening, and every time something's not perfect, there's a little extra noise, I don't get the inflection right, I say a word wrong, I have a false start, then they're like, ooh, okay, let's do that one again. And that is happening 3 or 4 or 5 times per page. And I'm 110 pages into this thing so far. I think the whole book is like 288 pages. I'm 46, 47% in. We still have 2 more days to go, but literally 3 or 4 times per page, I'm not getting something perfect, and you're going back and redoing it. And at first I thought it was just me being like the worst audiobook reader ever in the world, but it turns out what my audio engineer, who's done lots and lots of books, he's like, I've done this with the people that are like full-time professional audiobook readers, and all of them, it's, there's 3 restarts per page. And so then what they do is they'll just sort of go back to the last good sentence or the last good phrase, hit the play button, and then they'll play that in for me, and I'll be watching that play in. And as soon as that ends, then I'll start reading from there. So this is like 6 hours of this. Took a few 5-minute breaks, 10-minute breaks. It was, when I say it was the most intense 2 days, I mean it. Like after the end of that first day, I came home and it was like, I just immediately took a 90-minute nap, got up, ate dinner, could not say a word to anyone at dinner, and immediately went back to bed. It was just, I felt like I stuck my finger in the light socket. And, and I can be on stage for 8, 10, 12 hours with, at one of my events, but this was a completely different experience. It was intense, crazy. And I don't mean to whine, because it was an amazing experience as well. I feel so lucky to have done this. And I kept reminding myself during the day, you're really lucky to be doing this. Because the thing is I just got tremendous insights into my work. It's just crazy, because the first edition of this, I basically wrote in 2000, it took me 2 years. 2012, 2013, wrote it. And now I've gone back. The revision, the update this time didn't take me 2 years, but it took me a solid 6 months of very hard work on it. And so I've been through it. Each time I wrote it, there was like the first time there was like 5 drafts. The second time there's 3 drafts, plus the whole editing process. So I've been through it many times. But that reading it line by line by line, and obviously there's some words I'm just not really great at pronouncing, like especially. I think my producer would be it's like, okay, let's try that one again. And it's especially, not especially. And Jeff, when you say PLF, it just sounds like it blurs right by. See PLF. Say product launch formula, not product launch formula. It's like, slow down. This is a really impact. So being so intense on every single word actually gave me new insights into my own work. It's crazy. I've been doing this stuff for 25 years. I've been teaching it for 15 years. And I feel like just by reading it in such an intense fashion, every single word and focusing on every single sentence, it just gave me all new insights, or not all new, but a bunch of new insights into my work, and more to the point, into the teaching of the work. And it's just crazy how you can just go further and further in mastery. Just there's no end to how deep you can go on something. And the deeper you go, I think eventually, first you're just learning, and it's getting bigger and more complicated, but eventually mastery is where it gets simpler and simpler. And so for the last 5, 6, 7 years, that's where I've been going, is taking the formula, the whole process, and making it more simple and more simple and more teachable and more actionable. That's been my focus for a number of years now. And the really cool thing is I get to take this work now. 2 weeks from now, I'm going into PLF Live, which is my once a year event that I love. This is going to be the 13th time I've done PLF Live. We started doing it in 2010. There was one year we did it twice. It's always been an in-person event, and many of you have been out to PLF Live. It's the longest running event in our industry. I think I love it. It's an incredibly powerful event. It's this idea of you come in with an idea for something you want to launch, whether you've already got an existing business or you want to start one. And we're all about building out in those 3 days. It's very much a workshop and building your plan for that launch. And the launch isn't completely done by the end of PLF Live, because there's always work to be done, but you walk away with the plan for launching. We get you over that hump, because this is a tough business. It's tough to go from 0 to 1. And PLF Live is all about getting you from 0 to 1 and getting you launched. But the cool thing is, with this time reading this audiobook, I've got 2 more days left. I've got 2 days in. It's going to take me 2 more days, that I've got all these new insights about how to teach this stuff in a more actionable way. And it's just absolutely amazing to me that process of just going so deep, even if it's just into my book or the new edition of the book, gotten all these new insights. So I feel like I've got this momentum towards PLF Live, so I'm really looking forward to it. If you want to get to PLF Live, historically it's always been an in-person event. Last May, we had to pivot. We already had a plan for a year, and then COVID hit, so we had to pivot to virtual. We were one of the very, very first big workshops that had to go virtual, and we did it in a really big way. Many of you were there. It was pretty exciting. It wasn't a normal virtual meeting or Zoom meeting or anything like that. It was big time. And now we're going to do virtual again. This should be the last virtual. I mean, virtual is super cool. It's super great. It's amazing as an attendee, because you don't have to travel. You don't have to pay for the hotel. You don't have to pay for your flights. You get a front row seat. Everyone gets a front row seat because of the virtual nature of it. So there, you can do it from the comfort of your home. You can do it anywhere you have an internet connection. It's great on so many levels. And I can't wait to get back to in person. So this is almost surely going to be our last virtual PLF Live. So if you've ever wanted to get out to PLF Live, this is the time to do it. I'll put a link down below to it. It's an amazing event. It's truly an amazing event. And I think this year it's going to be even more amazing because I've got this runway of coming in on fire from spending 4 days reading the book and just connecting into my material even deeper. Yeah, it's going to be great. It's going to be great. So look for that link down below. And if you have read an audiobook and I've talked to a lot of people who have had different experiences, and some people it's the greatest experience of their lives. Some people it's really hard. For me, it was really hard, and it was also super, super cool. And just a lesson in that you can always peel the onion another level. You can always go a little deeper in your mastery, in your learning, in your teaching. So I'm Jeff Walker. Scroll down, leave a comment for me, and let's go get them this week.